free.
Sure. It's worse than the Women's March and all them other things. Even the marches we had were the same thing. As long as they was with Answer and all of them. When we had a demonstration, if we pulled out 50 or 60 people, we'd be rolling. But Answer and them, they could pull out everybody. But they got their regular spokespeople, church people down there, to be fiery. The cast of characters. See, I'm gonna close, but I want to say this. When you come here to DC, somebody asked or said, oh, democracy now is not a... When you get here and you see, like we've seen some of the people on certain TV and talk shows, we know where they came from. They was right there with us, okay? We've seen the book writers, and it looks like the whole cast of characters are playing a part. This is the great professor, this is the sub-professor. This is why it looks like, because none of them takes action on solution.
Right.
They don't.
That's right.
The nicest people, they give a good lecture, but they don't do nothing. That's like Jesse Jackson there. Jesse and old Al there. Well, I don't want to talk about it. We're going to clear the air. We apologize, Al. We know you're an honest minister of the cloth. Forget about that ABC, CBS stuff you're on. It's okay. You still got your perm. And we know you didn't, when they was talking about that kilo or dope, was it cocaine or heroin, we know. We believe you. When you said, I was trying to trap them, we know that's what you was trying to do. You wasn't involved in nothing, no hanky-panky. So we with you, we know. Okay, anyway, let's see. So we done cleared up Black Panthers in Exile. Huey, the movies that they've been making, they made those movies because they was following a pattern. The people that moved to Phoenix with Elijah Muhammad and wrote those books, Bernard Kushmir, you can see him. This is the one and our Savior's arrived. He was the Imam. In fact, I tell you, when I went to Sudan with, what's the guy down there on WPFW? Muhammad, he used to be the editor. He used to be the editor
Right.
of Muhammad, he used to be the editor of Muhammad.
What was with the nation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of his name now.
Yeah, but he's down there. Okay. When we went to Sudan, him and I sat together all the time and talked about the old days. I was the only person that he could talk to about all that old stuff, that he knew all of these people. Henry did, all them people, he knew them. And that's all we talked about all the time. In his first case, the reason he said, I heard your lecture when you was talking down at the press club. He said, when you talked about W.L. Noble, you know, he said that was my first assignment in 1968 in California. I said, okay. So we got along good. Okay. But everybody's arranged. You can see even the people that are arranged, they're never talking about the Sunnah, or they're never talking about, just to ask the question, if there's a person that's went through all of this stuff stage by stage and have personal, firsthand, I was there with everybody, and you know, and we all did whatever we did. And we're still functional on this level. What do you think the white man thinks about that. And then as soon as I open a masjid, it just happens to be Iranians around, and they use our masjid for years. And I go all over the country talking about it, actually all over the world. And how does it seem like I would be treated? I feel I'd be treated just the way I'm treated. Okay, now the other thing is nobody has to care anything about what we're talking about. It's not their responsibility. It's our responsibility to teach openly and clearly. And that's what we plan will allow us help to do. Okay, this is not amateur hour. It's not amateur hour. Okay, so we talked about the chief. Talked about, just one side note. It was the guy in Oakland. He was the Imam before Fahim Shuaib was. He's a little Pakistani guy. His birthday is February the 26th. Of course, that's Savior's Day. That's Farad Muhammad's birthday. I guess y'all never got the message. People would come by his house. He was a good friend of Imam Muhammad too. And they would have, is that Master Farad Muhammad? And the little guy, he told everybody, because it was Yusuf Bey's crew and it was our crew. They would stop by. We just wanted to leave you this gift for all you did for us and everything. And he would tell him, he gave a good play. He said, I would tell him, well, I'm not the guy you think I am, but I'll be happy to accept your little gift there, you know. They thought he was Master Farad Muhammad. He was close to that. He could have slid in. He could have slid in the home plate. He was a Qadiani, you know, and so Oakland has a lot of things going on. So they thought he was Master Farad Muhammad. Muhammad Abdullah, they call him.
Askia Muhammad.
Huh?
Askia is the guy, is his brother's name. Askia. From the PFW.
Askia Muhammad, yeah, that's him. Okay, so that's all for today. We just wanted to mention those few things. And are there any questions and any comments? Is there anything that was left a little hanging or not that clear? We call this one the first and second resurrection because the first resurrection was during the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's time, and the second resurrection was during the chief's time. That was supposed to, because they, you know, all the guys around here, the old timers like Suleiman and them, they had a little thing about me. They said, yeah, but you wasn't almost saying, but you, if I was really like them, I wouldn't be saying some of the stuff I say. You know, that's what they was. I said, no, I was in the first and the second, you know. In other words, the first resurrection was all the pioneers. They was the pioneers. That's the first resurrection with the Nation of Islam. And the second resurrection was with Imam Muhammad. The transition. And see, if you're active, you get to find out all that. If you're just coming in and praying and laughing and talking and stuff, you don't get up on all the little details. But anyway, so, alhamdulillah. Are there any questions, any comments? Did anybody tweet anything there?
Well, no, well, yeah, I guess a brother did say, good work, brother. I'm from Ghana, head director, planners of Islamic events and programs. That's, yeah, that was all he said.
He's from Ghana, head program. That's good. Okay, well, alhamdulillah. Are there any comments, anything like that?
You know, just someone saying that we really need to hear this talk. You know, is that basically the whole, that history there of the transition and the first and second? I guess he understood the title. Yeah, this is from the
Oh,
very
okay,
beginning.
all right, yeah, yeah.
The first and second resurrection, you know, so
Yeah,
he
see.
understood
Yeah.
where
See, if you was in the first, you may not have been in the second. And if you was in the second, you may not have been in the first. So very few people are still alive now. You have to remember, I stood up in '63, that was a long time ago. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
57 years ago.
Yeah, that was 1963. You know, and that's when I stood up. So, and then if you're active all that time, then you change with. I'll close with this. All the people that we come in contact with, a lot of the old timers know a lot of this stuff. But they don't talk about it where it's useful. But we still have to forgive them, whether they're in New York, whether they're in Brooklyn, whether they're around here, you know. Yeah, I mean, whether they're sergeants in the Army, you know what I mean? Sergeant and Imams, whatever they are, you know. We don't want to use up no time arguing with black people about nothing. Stay focused on boss man. Yeah. So that's what we want everybody to understand. Please don't come bothering us about nothing. We've clarified the issue, and if you want to ask a question, drop on by, write a letter, or do a little tweet there. But don't start getting crazy because there's only room for focus on boss man. So thank y'all very much. Yes.
some more questions came in, two more, asking for comments. He's saying, one of the brothers asked, any comments to share about Farrakhan?
No,
No, okay.
no, we don't have nothing to say about Minister Farrakhan. He's Minister Farrakhan. The black man's hell is the white man's heaven, vice versa. You know, that was a song he put out in '65, something like that. Yeah, he was a calypso singer.
I've heard it.
Yeah. What was the other question?
The other one, this was on YouTube. Someone asked, what are your thoughts on Muhammad Sharif?
Muhammad Sharif out in California?
I don't know. But I can ask him and see if he can give some follow-up.
Just tell him I don't have anything to say about nobody but good. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
That's what this is about. This is about your whole movement is saturated with people who are there to divert all of your activity. That's the way it is. There's nothing you can do about it. The people with those people do not have any idea that those people are no good. They just don't have any idea. We're clearing the air because I'll tell you what it is. Anybody ever see the movie Geronimo? That one came out in about 30 years ago, something. The other Indians, the other Apaches that helped chase down Geronimo, they're going to take desert Indians and they're going to send them to Florida. And they're going to take the Florida Indians and send them to the Florida. That Euro is really, he don't even have to be that mean, you know what I mean? He just does that. But when they was putting Geronimo on the train, the soldiers said for the other Indians, drop your weapons. You know, said, drop your weapons. And they put them on the train with Geronimo. And Geronimo was easy going. He said, wherever we're going, we're going to need each other. That's what Geronimo said. He was talking to the Indians that helped chase him down. Because to catch an Apache, you usually need another Apache. That's why all the trackers were other Indians. You know what I mean? All the scouts was other Indians, so they gonna chase you down. I don't have any plans to say anything negative about any of the believers, because we have to leave the door. It's an open door policy. It's an open door. If Allah don't close off the door to repentance and all of that, who would we be to say, well, you too far gone? You right? How could we do that? And we're just human. So all we can do with our humanity is what the Quran says: cover your brother's faults. Cover them. Hide them. Don't expose them. That ain't no good. No, hide their faults. So we have had tons of experience with most of the activist people in the United States, in Europe, and most of Africa, especially South Africa and some of the other states. We only have good to say about all of them. So if that's the last question.
Well, actually, I have a question
okay.
myself.
Sure.
It was about your comment when you said that you, it was about the comment about, you were saying that if you knew what you knew now, you would have stayed with Imam Muhammad. Now, I guess one of the topics growing up, because that's the community I come from, was that Imam Muhammad saw the corruption going on in the Nation of Islam.
Right.
And he actually worked to decentralize leadership.
He did that.
Okay, so, I just wanted to say that probably was the right call to kind of have leadership disperse and you go a different direction. You might not have been able to do as much good there than here,
He was a mujaddid. That's a big name. That ain't no little title. He revived. Well, there's no guidebook on how to take colored people to one place to the other.
Right.
No guidebook. You know what I mean? And you could see him struggling. If you looked at some of those 1975, 76, 77 centerfolds, good God Almighty, the flying cockatrice, all of those things. He was struggling. And remember, he inherited Warrior Fadil Muhammad. He inherited the Nation of Islam, but he inherited the religion of Islam. That's what it means. Okay. I said I would have stayed with him if I knew what I knew. Because the stuff I saw him doing, I had already seen the other side, and I was younger then too. And I just didn't go along with it. But as the years went on, and then I saw what he was doing with what he had. He didn't do bad. He didn't do bad. I'm telling you, he was surrounded. I know the people that I know, and I already know him. I'm telling you, he was surrounded. He did a great job for what he had. He did a good job for what he had. And we can't put on a person more than, their abilities. Yeah. You can't make him be something that he's not. You know what I mean? Look at the people here. Excuse me, I just said, no. Yeah, anyway. But I do have to say, do you remember when we had that, was you here when we had that itikaf over at Masjid Muhammad?
No, I wasn't here.
Okay, that must have been
I know
92 or 93. We was, it was like we stayed in the masjid. We, one of the movies, first of all, the brothers wanted to know, what are we all gonna do in a masjid for a whole weekend together? And we didn't get time to do, you know, certain brothers gave this lecture. One of the movies we was gonna show was the one, the brother South Central, was that the movie? And one of the officials, we was all geared up to see it, to discuss it, you know what I mean? That was part of, it grew out of that, what our fathers wanted to do for our young guys, you know, and all that stuff. And this movie was good like that. And they wanted to know whether the thing was, did it come from the company? Was it halal? And there's a sheet, there's a cover and color. I said, man, we didn't get to show it because it was a bootleg. Okay.
Oh.
At the same time,
Really?
no, you gotta look at how dirty this stuff is. At the same time, this big unity program, I remember Chicken Lips, y'all would know who Chicken Lips was probably. The Chicken Lips and one of the imams that was here. No, one of the imams that was here, he said, they sit right there with all this unity developing. And they said, Imam Muhammad said something or other. No. The Salafi Imam from here, we all know him. He's saying, talking about Imam Muazzadin Muhammad. And you know that if you're talking to the pioneers or anybody over there, if you say anything negative,
Right.
especially in those days, about Imam Muhammad, they just you might as well sow unity with,